Hello, beautiful Lyran Starseeds. This is Lyran Star Goddess Oracle and Tarot, and we're connecting with the energies of light from the Lyran Light Field and the Lion Light Council. And we're receiving messages and the information about what kinds of soul lessons and energies we're moving through at this time. These are daily readings, and they're dedicated to Lyran Starseeds and Urmah Soul Pod. Whenever you find this reading, that is when you were meant to find it. Connect with me now and connect with the Lyran light field. I'm in agreement with Source and only Source. I'm in alignment with light and only light. Let's take a look at the energies today and what's going on. Interesting to me today. I'm always fascinated. I'm fascinated every day with what synchronicities come up. But we've got the Devil card at the roots of the situation today. And the Devil is all about oppression and themes and patterns that do not serve. Of course, the Devil is also Capricorn energy. And a lot of times it happens to be about work-related situations. So I'm interested to follow this line of energy through the spread and see what's going on here, because there seem to be some oppressed lines of energy, like really deep-seated programs that are, I want to even say, maybe hurtful, stressful, emotional, like a feeling like you can't get out of it. Of course, those are all false beliefs. The programming is false and false beliefs, but they're strong nonetheless. So let's see what's going on here. The heart of the situation looks like, right off the bat, when I'm looking at the Knight of Cups reverse and the Ace of Cups reverse, this looks like a possible codependent type of pattern. And it usually has to do with putting someone else on a pedestal and then that person having a lot of power over the codependent person. And that doesn't really mean they have power over you. What it means is you're allowing them in the way they see the world and how they see you to affect you in a bigger way than what is actually true about your alignment. So let's take a look at this. And of course, this isn't necessarily about you. It could be someone that you are observing. Let's move up to the current status, the current situation. And again, it looks like there's been a breakup. I want to say this too. Sometimes with codependence, there's this feeling of addiction. And it feels like there's some kind of addictive quality to this with the Devil here. And I'm also feeling different lines of energy having to do with I want to even call this a perpetrator. So this could be a narcissistic energy or tendency, and this could be kind of the cutoff or the abandonment or the discard. And the current energy is the Two of Cups reversed and the Ten of Swords. So it's like there's been some kind of not exactly an amicable situation that has come to a close. So we're starting off here in this difficult energy, the sad energy, this kind of, this is upsetting energy that we have to deal with. And of course, this could be work related, it could be love related, it could be family related. And it also could be something that's coming up to the surface in the collective today that's not necessarily happening to you in present time, but is coming up for you in present time. And I do want to mention the moon is in Pisces right now. That's always a doozy of a moon for me. And I wonder about others as well and how they feel during Pisces moons. It's not necessarily a bad doozy. Sometimes it's just a deep doozy, very deep, it hits the chords. So in the past, it looks like there's been some regret, some remorse, some disappointment, sadness, and grief. And so, because this is in the past, this coming up into the present makes me feel like this is a memory of some kind. It could be a distant memory. It also could be where the pattern has derived, from where the pattern derived, this theme that does not serve. So, happening now and into the near future is the Knight of Pentacles. This is slowly but surely moving forward with the tools and resources needed in order to move forward, kind of above and beyond this. And before I even go any further, I want to talk about the oracle that we pulled today. We've got Flame Worker, Spirit Animal Communications, and Sacred Light. And spirit animal communications always reminds me that there are guides here, unconditional. Our guides are unconditional, whether they're animal spirit guides or something else, angelic or Lyran Light Council. We have lots of different guides around us all the time. So Flame Worker and Sacred Light is about intense healing frequency. It incorporates Lyran Light codes, Violet Flame, and Sacrum. And it's really blast you out of the water, clearing and healing energy, and it's regenerative. And then here's all of this unconditional energy coming in. So I feel like there's this big healing force or this big healing wave coming through specifically for this type of frequency, this energy, this it has to do with control and oppression and safety or non-safety. It has to do with, I'm even hearing jealousy and rage. I feel like that came up yesterday, some jealousy energy. But this is about that ending. And then there's this question that's coming up like, what are you doing with that energy? How are you blasting it out to allow the light to come back in or to recognize the light that is already there? A lot of times for me, this is one of those types of energies that it can break the heart so that the light can shine out of the heart and into the heart. So this feels like something that's happened in the past, and there's been a real understanding of moving forward and moving from this energy. Also, recognizing this energy in the future in order to be discerning about it. The big picture is talking about kind of like going back and forth, kind of stepping into a different world or into a different dimension of healing with this, and then sometimes stepping back into it. Oh, yeah, I remember. And then stepping back out of it. It looks like the process is happening, and it does look like it is working. It looks like it is moving you forward, up and beyond. Let's take a look at your advice. Your advice, this is always interesting. Talk about blow you out of the water change. It's the reversed tower. It's like this is about discernment. It's about, okay, I recognize what this energy is. And so because I recognize what this energy is, I can be discerning and I don't have to fall back into it. I can recognize it, but I don't have to engage. I don't have to put myself through what maybe once was an actual tower moment for you. And then the soul lesson is how you do not bring this forward into your timeline. The soul lesson has to do with your discernment, with your choices about not re engineering opportunities for this type of situation or disengaging from them when you recognize what they are. So let's look at earlier light council. Higher self is like, this is not your responsibility. That's also part of this energy. If anyone is being manipulative, which this card can definitely deal with manipulation, if if anyone is trying to make you believe that you are responsible for their health, their wellness, their success, their emotions, it's time to lay down that burden. This is about taking on responsibilities that are not your own And when it's reversed, it's about laying down those responsibilities. Hey, I took on that responsibility at one time. Maybe I needed to learn that soul lesson around it. I've learned that soul lesson, and now I'm no longer needing to know more about it. I know what I need to know about it, and I'm going to lay that down. Your angels and guides at the highest vibrations of love and light are talking about the Three of Swords reverse. This is about being on the other side of this. This is also letting me know that this is, in fact, in the past, whether it's the recent past, but I'm really actually feeling not so recent as much as there's been gnosis around this from the past, but this is about being beyond it, having that wisdom, having the hindsight. And your future self is talking about the Queen of Wands reversed. Future self is like, I no longer give this type of energy a place to go. I'm not a vessel for it any longer. I really love that. Whoa, what a doozy of a lesson, though. That is exactly what I'm talking about. So let's take a look at what to release. We have the Seven of Wands and we have the Six of Cups reversed. Wow. Okay, so what that tells me is it's very possible that a caretaker could have um, had behavior and patterns like this. And let's talk about a difficult relationship. So if a caretaker had this type of energy, this could have felt like home. It could have felt familiar. And it also many times leads to finding seeking out without even really being conscious of seeking it out, but seeking out other types of relationships that feel like home, that feel familiar. And so we might see ourselves with partners, friendships, work situations, teacher situations that resemble this type of pattern. And now it's being on the other side of it, recognizing it. So in the release position, this is literally talking about releasing the patterns that were first introduced through a caretaker of some kind. And when we're looking, oh, this is so good. Wow. When we're looking at the outcome, we're looking at the moon reversed, which is always things that are subconscious rising up and being tabled, being put on the table so everybody can see it. And it's not necessarily everybody. You're the most important one here. So it's being brought to the surface so that you can see it yourself. And then here's the Nine of Cups, all your wishes being granted around this. And I feel like the wishes in this situation have to do with feeling actual, authentic support. And a lot of that has to do with your guides, your unconditional guides, your higher self, Lyran Light Council, angels and guides of the highest vibrations. You are surrounded with energy that is looking out for you as well as helping you to align in the energies that you are most resonant with. And this is you having, I feel like these epiphanies have already happened, but it's you being able to validate yourself because you have gone through this particular experience with this particular energy. And it only makes you stronger. It only makes the collective stronger in the knowledge that is available so that the discernment can happen more easily, the resonance can happen more easily. In a sense, I feel like someone who's been experiencing this is actually teaching others now what these signs are, to recognize your own nervous system, to recognize your own thoughts and confusion, or something's not quite right here, something's off, but I can't put my finger on it. It's like someone is actually understanding where that comes from and they're explaining it to other people, or they're noticing it or observing it. And so they can more easily identify what it is and help other people identify what it is. I want to say this too, not in the sense that this didn't come from a caretaker, but in a sense that sometimes when we attract this, like re-attract this type of relationship, it has to do, it's with someone who has those tendencies or they have learned those from a caretaker. We learn those from our caretaker. And we stop doing those types of behaviors because we recognize that we don't like that. We don't want that. We want authenticity. We want, light source alignment. And this is done until we recognize that we don't want to be that way. So just, I'm not saying that those types of relationships cannot be healed. They can, some of them can. And some of them, it looks like we take ourselves out of that situation. And then some of them, there's this discard situation happening. And it is actually the best. It's like, it's the best thing that could possibly happen, but it just doesn't feel that way in the moment. So, wow, talk about a freaking doozy of a reading today. Lyran Starseeds, this was a big one. So, I'm really hoping that this was helpful, and I will see you tomorrow.